All right, good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the City Council meeting. It is 6 o'clock, August 5th, 2019. Time to call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Richards?
Here.
Mr. Blankenship?
Here.
Mr. Agers?
Here.
Mr. Wertz?
Here.
Mr. Hukin?
Here.
Mr. Austin?
Here.
Mr. App?
Here.
Sir, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Mr. Works, prayer, pledge, please.
Okay. Let's bow our heads. Father, be with our mayor and city council as we conduct the business of our city and prepare a working budget for 2020. Father, we are grateful to our military men and women around the world who provide us our many freedoms. Remember our Franklin first responders, our police and fire departments. Also, let us remember the families in Dayton, Ohio, and El Paso, Texas, after the mass shootings this weekend. Father, we are grateful for all city employees who provide the many services. Be with Franklin, children, teachers, and police officers as Franklin starts school on Wednesday.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Thank everyone for attending. I know that Marty probably has a public comment you want to make. So-
On behalf of Discover Downtown, I'd like to thank all you guys for your support back in Office of Finance. It's very successful. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other announcements, presentations? Yes, ma'am.
This is actually something that's just been in the back of my mind. So I worked over at Main and Madison this summer, and something that's been kind of a point of concern was like the recycling situation. So
Can you come up here since you're getting into it?
yeah.
Yeah. State your name and what you want to say. That way it's on the recording, for
Yeah.
sure.
So I'm Lillian Lacey. I'm a student at Franklin High School. I'll be a junior this fall. So yeah, like I said, I worked at Main and Madison this summer, and my fellow employees and I, like something we were really concerned about was the recycling, because whenever we were cleaning up the tables, there were like glass bottles, just plastic things that we were just having to throw in the trash, and like there were a lot of boxes that we were just throwing in the dumpster. And so we asked our manager about it, and she said she'd been looking into it, but one of the problems was the city didn't have recycling pickup for the businesses. So I don't know, I was just wanted to inquire about that. Like, is there a recycling pickup for the businesses in downtown Franklin, or is that something that could be arranged, or do they just have to pay extra?
There isn't quite a recycling. The county has some recycling stuff that they do, but we haven't talked to the county about how we're going to spend on it. So,
If I may, I'm also the attorney for Johnson County Solid Waste Management District, so maybe a plug for them. None of the callers around do recycling for the businesses unless they ask for recycling services, primarily in residential areas. Johnson County Solid Waste Management, and it will be, they're having an open house in September, is trying to do more recycling at their place of business, and it happens to be here in Franklin. And they are out on, what's Hamilton, it's, I can't remember the address, I've been there many times, where the county recycling district approved a baler, so they will start taking some of those recycling from anybody, including businesses that are located in Franklin. So it's certainly a topic. Also, Krista Linky with Downtown, Discover Downtown, Franklin, as well as she's our community development director here at the city, has been very concerned about the dumpsters and getting some cooperative agreements amongst various business owners. She knocked on my door and asked me, I'm attorney, because I own a building next door. And she is putting together 2 agreements to see if businesses collectively can go together and have dumpsters both for the trash and debris, so they don't end up in our various trash cans that are around the corner square, and also recycling bins. So we are hopeful to have 2 locations in downtown Franklin proper that businesses can agree to cooperate and pay a portion of that expense and then have it available for recycling. So, great point. It is an issue that has been raised. We are looking into it in various things. It's going to probably require a public-private partnership, and we're willing to do that. And the mayor is on these projects giving me his blessing to do it. So
Yeah.
maybe the youth council, are you on that youth council?
Yeah,
Maybe that's a good project.
definitely something I will bring up.
Great. That's
Yep. Thank you.
And this is exactly what the Mayor's Youth Council designed for, is to have input from our youth and give us direction. I appreciate that. So anybody else? Will you guys, the other two, just stand up, state your names, go on. Mayor's Youth Council, there's 2 more here, let's hear it, don't be shy.
It's pretty hard to follow. People stick with that right now.
Okay, well, state your names so everybody knows who you are.
I'm Dylan Clark, and I'm a senior next year, and I'm president of the Mayor's Youth Council.
I'm Brandon Beeman. I'm going to be soccer.
Thank you guys for sticking around and being here, thanks. Is there any other announcements and presentations? Yes, sir.
Brian Reeves, pastor of Community Baptist Church, and just want to give a shout out last night, an incredible event over at the Performing Arts Center at the high school, where we assembled just to pray for the administration, teachers, staff, parents, and students as they head into the new school year. And great event. It's neat to see all the faith leaders and people of faith assembled together last night and just concentrate on asking God to help our schools and students, and as well as just thank Him for the heroes that serve in that capacity. So it's a good night last night.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay.
Move to read the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll move on to new business.
Move to read all new business by title only.
Second.
Motion and a second to read by title only. All those in favor?
Aye.
Item number 1, Common Council Budgetary Resolution number 19-07, authorizing the transfer from the Records Perpetuation Services 300 to 124 part-time, $4,000 court clerk Amy McLaughlin.
Hi, Joanne again. The money is already in our fund. We just had to set up a part-time in that record perpetuation.
So this isn't the same part-time budget that,
It is not the part-time budget in the regular budget. This is setting up a line item for part-time in the record perpetuation.
Okay, can I make a couple comments here before we get going along? I just know that usually if I'm not in favor of something like if some department head or something has a request and I'm not in favor, I usually don't let them bring it to the council because I'm not in favor of it. We'll work through it. This is one of those things that I'm not in favor of. And also, I checked with legal. I could have said, no, we're not going to bring this forward, just like any other department. However, I thought the council should hear your request. And I want to talk about why I'm not in favor of adding to the budget. One reason is we just spent $750,000 for a new court and $250,000 for the records room that was prompted by the new court moving into space, which we are located now at the police department. We've installed a panic button, we've installed new surveillance cameras, we've got bulletproof walls, bulletproof windows, bulletproof doors, and all this bulletproof has made this project astronomical. That's what drove the cost up. There's already a bailiff in the court that carries a gun. And I think, Amy, you correct me if I'm wrong, what you said you wanted to use the money for was to get another bailiff to run the metal detector that you found money in your budget to
Well,
install.
this is, yeah, we're not asking you for money. This is money that's already in our record perpetuation. So we're just setting up a line item in record perpetuation for that.
But the bottom line is it still adds to the budget, and the bottom line, the overall budget, so that's why I'm not in favor of it. There's a new, we're gonna need a standard operating procedure also for the bailiff to run, or anybody to run a metal detector. And I wanna also state that in 2015, the court lost $50,000, 2016, it lost $60,000, 2017, it lost $56,000. Last year, it lost $94,000. And also in 2018, in the budget for part-time, was $16,172. And when we talked about our 2019 budget, you and the judge asked to give more money for raises than normal for anybody else. And we said, you guys suggested we take it out of our normal budget, the part-time, because you didn't need that much in the part-time budget. So we took some out of it and got it down to $14,800. And my comment was, okay, you sure you want to do this because you're going to be coming back. Don't come back and ask us to add it back into the budget.
Right,
because you
I'm
need to
not.
raise it. So that is one of the reasons, well, it's a lot of reasons. And also, when I look here at the part-time, what was the expenditures in 2015? The part-time was like $6,500. 2016 was $6,700. 2017 was $7,000. 2018 was $7,287. And this year, the budget is $14,800 that we already have in the part-time. So I'm just kind of justifying in my own mind, we always have money left over in the part-time, and we're wanting to add back into the budget. I get it, it's in the records perpetuation fund, I get that, but the bottom line is, we're still adding to the budget. It doesn't matter where it's at, we're adding and spending more money. So that is why I am against it. I just wanted you to know that. However, I'm going to let the council decide if they want to add to the budget that we're already losing money on. And I would suggest that before we put somebody at the metal detector, we do get a standard operating procedure in place that has to be approved by the Board of Works. So I'm done with my piece.
Okay, well, and so I will elaborate on that. So we have a metal detector, we won't have anybody to run it because we have to have someone at the front to, bailiff, and then we would have to have someone at the, at the beginning there for when they're coming in to make sure that they don't have anything on them. And that's why I need another person.
I will add too, I said I was done, but just let this part out. I did talk to the incoming judge, Mark Boyd, about this because I wanted to make sure I was seeing this the right way. And Mark said that this is the judge coming in next year, he sees no reason for two bailiffs, that one bailiff can run the metal detector and then come in to stand by the door or where, right there in the courtroom, because it is a small courtroom. And, I just hate to keep adding to a budget, and we're working real hard to try to get raises for everybody in this year's budget. And I will tell you that next year's budget will not reflect having this position in it, and it is my budget. When I know you and the judge both said it wasn't my budget, it is my budget, and I'm gonna,
I never said anything about, I relate what judge tells me to do.
and I'm gonna sign it, so it's what I'm gonna, next week, whenever we present the budget. So I just want you to know that now. So,
Amy, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
In 2018, the budgeted amount for part-time was $16,000 and change, but the expenditure was only $7,200. Why wouldn't we just use the remaining close to $7,000 in that budget for this $4,000?
Well, at the end of the year, it just goes back into the general fund every year.
Right, but I mean, we've already budgeted that amount and it hasn't been used, or it hasn't been used routinely or in the past, so why
That's
wouldn't
all,
we just
I
do
mean, I'm moving that part-time person that I'm already paying into the rec perpetuation, just to have that money opened up. I might have enough money in there to pay that, but, I was just trying to save it for next year. I'll only need one bailiff, because we're only gonna do Monday court instead of doing Monday and Wednesday. So we'll just need two people on one day.
Right, what I'm saying is though, we haven't spent,
Right, I still
Yearly
have money in
for
there,
budget.
yeah. I still have money in that account.
what I would prefer to see is just utilize the part-time money that's already there, that we've already budgeted. And then if you need more later on, come back and say, hey, we've utilized all of part-time.
Right,
Because I mean, we've
Yeah.
already budgeted that amount.
right.
So I'd rather see the money we budgeted used before we give you any more.
Okay.
That's my personal preference.
Right.
And if we make this other new line item, I know it's only $4,000, but it creates a perpetual account, right? So next year
Yeah,
it'll
through
be
rec
4,000.
perpetuation, yes.
Right, well, I mean, it'll be created an account next year, so it's not just a one-time $4,000.
Well, the amount in the rec perpetuation is the amount that we bring in from late fees.
Yeah, I understand.
So, you know, just like the services or the supplies that I had added the last time. I
Right.
have to have a certain line item to pay anything out of there. That's why Sharon's the one that told me I need to set it up,
Yeah,
you know, as that.
I see. That- Personally, my opinion is to use the part-time money that's already there, that's already been budgeted right now until we see how this new court's gonna work.
Right.
That's my
The
personal.
only thing, you know, like with having one person do it is, as you know, people are coming in and out the whole entire time. So we would have to shut the doors.
I don't necessarily agree with that. Greenwood is in a similarly situated position, and they utilize one bailiff. So I'd like to see us utilize the funds we've already appropriated personally, before we get any more, move any more in. That's my 2 cents.
When, to me, this is like this is an added staff, basically.
Right, I'm looking for a part-time bailiff to cover the metal detector.
Has any consideration, and typically what we would try to do is before we add the staff, we would at least make a consideration maybe to try to staff it with the people that we have. Have we done that?
Well, I have a part-time bailiff now for Mondays and a part-time bailiff for Wednesdays. They are only there, you know, temporary, to do the court session. I mean, I'm only doing what judges instructed me to do. So, you know, she wants somebody separate to run the metal detector. And then have the other person to control the courtroom.
In addition to what we already have then.
So it would just be an additional person on Monday and an additional person on Wednesday.
Did I understand the course changing though to one day?
Of next year, yes.
Kind of, listen to what the mayor said about having an SOP, and SOP is very important in the case, and we have to have the rules. I'm listening to what Drew says, and I lean heavily on those two. I don't want to approve money until the money is expended, and then you come back and then you ask them, how, hey, this is what we got, this is what we need right now, because, you know, to me, that's more, I lean in that direction right there. If we have money there that hasn't been used yet, it doesn't make sense to put more money in. And I'm afraid of adding to an additional line item for individual being paid.
Just as a clarification, presently in our court we have one part-time.
We have one on Mondays for 9 a.m. court service and one on Wednesday nights at 6.
Moving to the new facility with the metal detector required in the judge's mind too.
Correct.
But we don't currently have a metal.
The metal detector's supposed to be in this week.
But I mean, at our current, where we had court, we never had a metal.
We never had one there, no.
And we are now moving to court
Right,
where the police are.
right.
How much was the metal detector?
3,500.
Was that approved by, was that just a line item?
Line item.
You had the discretion to do that? Was that run by the mayor?
No, it was in our account. The money was already there.
It was in the budget, they voted on it this year, okay.
All right.
Amy, do you know how much part-time you have left this year? How about in the regular, already established line item?
I do not, Drew, I didn't bring that with me because I didn't
Okay.
know that was an issue.
seems to me if you've got questions about what's, what's available, what you might have that we don't know, we have to make a decision this evening on this.
Yes, sir. I would prefer we make a decision this evening. I mean, it can be made.
Okay.
I would prefer that.
At the end of the year, what happens to this position?
But the end of the year, the part-time positions,
The one that we'd be adding.
okay, so the Monday would stay, 2 people, and then the Wednesday would go away because we won't have Wednesday court.
I know, but right now you have 1 per court,
1 per court, yes,
and you're gonna have 2 per court.
correct.
What happens at the end of the year to that part-time position?
Well, it's just we're paying them out of part-time, out of my part-time account right now, so,
It would still be there, Bob, but it would just be one day, just 1 day a week instead of 2.
I guess my point is, what I'm seeing with what's been spent over the last 4 years and what's in the budget, I feel like they could go ahead and hire this person that they need to hire and manage the rest of the part-time budget for this year and still get what Amy wants without adding money into the budget. And I think that's what Drew was alluding to. And if it gets down to the fact that you get to the last month or whatever and say, hey, we spent it all, and then we can take a look at it. That is my take on it, because what I see, the money that's budgeted in the part-time and what we spent, like I said, in the last 4 years, there should be enough money to do that.
okay.
So-
That's fine, I'm just, based on the conversation of not adding any more part-time money, I don't know how much money, I'm gonna end up spending with keeping my law clerk and hiring 2 more bailiffs on top of the 2 bailiffs I have. So that's the only reason judges wanted me to check on the other, so.
Amy, I think that I haven't said anything, and I don't know if I should. I'm not in favor of this at all. These last 4 years have been disheartening, to say the least. And now that we're moving this court up there, that I wasn't really a big fan of the move anyway, but that's another story. I thought we had a beautiful building to put it in, but chose not to, and that's fine. But the dollars that is being lost up there, and then the $250,000 that we spent to build the building, the room, I'm not in favor of. And I think this has got to stop. You've got a gentleman in there with a gun, you've got a metal detector, and you've got how many police officers at night when court's going on? How many police officers in that building? 5 minimum?
5 or 6 on duty.
Okay. That's a lot of weaponry, and that's a lot of manpower. And with the metal detector, we're guaranteeing nobody's going to be in there with a gun, right? Because the bailiff is already there with a load gun and taser, and he's got a metal detector, or she has a metal detector. I don't think any money should be spent until we figure out what's going on with this court.
So, is there any more questions? If not, we'll probably open for a motion.
At this time, Amy, I'd like to see you utilize everything you can with the part-time budget. That's my personal opinion. So I'll make a motion to deny the request this time.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion denied. Okay, thank you. We'll go on to the next item. Common Council Budgetary Ordinance number 19-15, additional appropriation to the general fund, police appointed captain, 101-007-113, an amount of $12,122. Street Commissioner, Fleet Manager, Rick Jones.
Good evening. I know it probably seems a little weird out here asking for money on behalf of the police department. But the reason behind this is money that we received from a total police car back in, I think it was in November of 2018. Officer Dillon was hit. It was out on 31, wasn't it? And well, I was very lucky.
Intoxicated driver.
Right, I was a intoxicated driver. Very fortunate that he was not hurt worse than he was, but the car was totaled. So originally, when this conversation began, I was going to come and ask to move the money into 400 series so that we could use the dollars from the car to pay for this year's fleet improvements. Ultimately, after talking with the chief, after talking with Sharon, Jane, their whole staff, with the recent retirement of Captain Atwood, there was some money that was paid out to him that was ultimately budgeted, but yet not necessarily budgeted to have it replaced. So what we're requesting in lieu of moving the remaining $12,122 into the 400 series is that we would move those dollars into the 100 series to help lessen that blow from the payout of since retired Captain Atwood so that we can fund Mr. Carter's pay for the rest of the year. I think he would appreciate that. So I'm here to ask that we make that happen, please. And stay in good graces with the police department. This was some strong negotiating.
Should have anything to do with it?
I know, right? I know. I feel like I've been put up to this, right? No, threatened to though. So. Right.
Brett, I make a motion to approve Common Council Budgetary Ordinance 19-50.
Can we get?
No, it's a big, that has to be set to, this is a budget ordinance, not a transfer.
I gotta come back and
Or
do this thing
appropriate,
again.
this,
Yep.
yeah, has to be set to a public hearing.
And we're not gonna waive that, you gotta come back.
Gotta come back, okay.
Yeah, the ship should be better too, so I think.
Right, we'll have him come up, yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brett. Next, Common Council Ordinance number 19-03, an ordinance for providing for clothing and equipment allowance and repealing and replacing ordinance number 11-09 relative to the same. Clerk Treasurer Jane Rooms.
Yes, and I will refer to Ms. Gray also. It's just wording that we are changing. Chief Cochran is not a merit officer, and our ordinance states that all merit officers will receive clothing allowance. And we would prefer that Kirby look like the rest of our officers. And so we are changing that just to officers and omitting merit.
And I might add, Sharon and Jane were kind enough to involve me in this process early on, and certainly Chief Cochran would have merit, but he is not technically a Franklin Merit Board officer. And so we needed to revise it at that point in time, and also, so we hadn't changed the amounts, we didn't change any of those things, so we needed to change it. And then also ask that we run by Chief McElgay to see if there's anybody in his department, and anticipate maybe there was a technician or somebody that got added on that would qualify, because they're not technically a merit officer. So that's just changing that wording to allow anyone within the department. And everything else remains the same. We put all active firefighters and police officers rather than merit officers. And this is also a budgetary ordinance, so it cannot be acted upon at this point in time. It needs to have a public hearing next time. We're keeping the amounts the same.
Thank you. The reason we haven't done this before is because Kirby didn't go through our ranks.
Correct.
Came from outside.
Correct. Correct. He's a sheriff's department merit officer. It's not a merit officer within the Franklin
Gotcha.
merit process.
So with just a little joke with that, to lightly it up a little bit, appointing Kirby as the chief, he said, you know, my job depends on your well-being, so you gotta go to the hospital, call me, because I'm gonna personally get you there and get you out.
Wow.
Actually, I don't think he said enough about he's gonna get somebody.
Wow.
Just a little fun. Okay. All right, we'll go on to
But
the next one.
we also added, and this language is in there, public safety officers and fire civilian inspectors. Because if you recall, sometimes we have technicians and things that we bring in. I can see if we had a paramedic or something, so not technically all just police officers or firefighters. So
Yeah.
it covers all those that were intended to have that clothing.
Okay, thank you. Go on to the next one. Common Council Ordinance Number 19-04, an ordinance of the City of Franklin establishing and adopting a conflict of interest policy for building code officials, City Attorney Andrew.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is brought forward to you as a result of legislative enactment of legislation that occurred in this past legislative session. As is often the case when the legislature passes a law, it's responding to some instance that may have occurred in another jurisdiction where you had building code officials who were approving building permits for buildings they had an interest in, which is obviously a conflict of interest that should not occur. So the legislature said that every entity should have a conflict of interest for those building officials who approve permits. I know of no instance where we have ever had one of those circumstances here, but this is to comply with the law. And essentially, I ran through this with Mark and Joanna to say, in the instance, let's say Mark and Gail were going to approve their house and they came in and applied for a building permit, then there would be a designated person that doesn't have an interest in this department to approve the permit. If Joanna had a conflict with that, then there would be another designated person. And ultimately, if there was no one there, then the mayor would then appoint an outside person to apply for this permit. I have never known anything happen that they can live with this presentation. And it is only because the law was changed. I also took the liberty, if you are so inclined, gentlemen, to prepare a resolution attached to this to allow you to adopt this on first reading. This is not a budgetary ordinance, so you can approve this on one reading if you are so inclined to do so. That would simply require a unanimous vote of all 7 of you to authorize acceptance of this for one reading and then approval of the resolution if you are also so inclined. I figured given budgetary time, the fewer things on your agenda, the better off. And again, this is just in accordance with what requirements of the legislation.
It's really interesting that nothing like this has ever been passed before by the state legislature. I mean, maybe it has, but
It is,
it just goes deeper, I suppose.
and I can just, generally speaking, I don't think anybody would have ever thought to approve your own building. I mean, it's just one of those things that most normal processes, in my experience with most people, if they had a conflict, they wouldn't be involved in the process. And I think what was happening in some of the larger municipalities to the north of us, someone who maybe would have a vested interest in rental properties or investment properties was approving building permits that weren't going through the proper channels. That's a no. That's not possible.
The question, everybody here signs an ethic document. On this, in section 3, is there any change in that?
No, because the ethics document you signed, you were signing that as an elected official. Our building permits are frequently signed and approved by our employees. We don't sign that on conflict of interest. Now, our employee manual has a provision in it that says employees should, put themselves in a situation of conflict of interest. But the document you're referring to is that document that's signed by elected officials. This is applicable to people within the department who, it may very well be sometimes people come up and apply for permits, and Julie, who's at the desk there, will take the permit in and run it by and say, yeah, this is all in order, and say, oh, she doesn't sign such a thing, but she will be all these thoughts.
I move to approve Common Council Ordinance Number 19-04, and I would ask for a roll call vote to waive second reading as well.
Just to, may I, Mr. Ager?
Sure.
If you could do separate motions, the first one would be.
I move to waive second reading.
That would be your first motion, that must be unanimous.
I move to waive second reading.
So that should be a roll call.
Yes, on waiver of second reading, that's what is that.
If you second that, Mr. Richards second the waiver with the roll call vote. So can we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Abbott?
Aye.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Mr. Blankenship?
Aye.
Mr. Agers?
Aye.
Mr. Hupin?
Aye.
Mr. Richards?
Aye.
Mr. Wertz?
Aye.
Now I move to approve Common Council Ordinance 19-04.
And that requires 2/3 of you. So more than 2/3 of you have to approve it now.
The motion is second was by Mr. Wertz. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. That gets us to other business. There is no other business. The council member comments, you can bring up other business at that time, but we'll start down here with Ava. Ava is sitting up here with the council. That's Joe Abbott granddaughter. And this is her last time before you go back home, which is where is home?
Virginia.
Virginia, yeah. So we enjoyed seeing you here this summer and hope you had a good time in Franklin at the Girls Club and go to Girls Inc. And can't wait to see you next year.
Thank you.
Joe, Mr. Allen, comment?
Mayor, I do want to bring up City Court again. And what I want to talk about is the naming of the facility. I know that we had named the facility that we're getting rid of, that the county owns, Judge Shastall's been named after Judge Shastall. I wonder, is that staying at that court?
No, it is actually, the plaque and everything is moved to the new court, the new courtroom.
And what we did is, Rob, the Shastall courtroom, not the entire facility. Is what was.
And the courtroom, if you need to go up and see it, it's almost identical.
Seen it once.
Yeah, you were there, it's finished now, and it's identical, the bench,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
the pews and everything are the same, so it looks the same.
Okay, so that will be the Rob Shastall courtroom.
Yes.
Okay, are you doing a rededication?
We haven't planned on that, but we can certainly do that if something the council wishes to do.
I'd really like to see that happen, and if the judge can be there, Rob can be there, get there, that'd be great.
I will, and I know you see Rob Jr., but I'm just by Rob Jr. too, right, that, you know.
I'll let you approach him. I think it's probably appropriate.
I'll do that.
I think it would be appropriate. I'd like to see that happen. I think it's the right thing to do. Thank you.
You-
No, this is way out, but just a reminder that the redevelopment commission meeting for August has been moved to August 22nd. That- Just a heads up.
I have nothing.
I have nothing additional, well, I do. Wasn't able to attend the House of Pines Festival, but I just want to congratulate Discover Downtown, Franklin, Marty in particular, for another successful event. I saw pictures, I've heard various comments, and everything was positive. Good job, Franklin. Good job, Discover Downtown.
Echoing Drew's comments, it's always amazing to me how nice downtown looks Sunday after all of our festivals. It's spotless.
Yes.
Kudos to the street department, and more kudos to the fire department, the police department for all they do, and all the people they have down there, make sure everybody's safe. Thank you very much.
No comment, thanks, sir.
Ms. Rhodes? Ms. Munch? Ms. Gray?
Nothing to say.
Yeah, hearing none.
I think I have enough of the agenda.
Hearing none, I think we might need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, I think by Mr. Austin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.